Welcome back, everyone, to Random Fandom. It is episode 47 for the week of January 22nd, 2024. Wes is on holidays this week, so please welcome to the show special guest host and friend of the show, Morgan Donaldson.
Hello.
How's it going?
Nice to be here. Thank you. Excellent.
Excellent.
Thanks for bringing me back again. Always a pleasure.
We got lots to cover this evening, including maybe a surprise or two, but before we get into that, how's your week been?
It's been pretty good. Pretty normal as far as weeks go. I'm kind of getting over a little bit of a nasal cold I had for the last few days.
That's not too bad.
Not too bad at all. Just a typical working and living and being a parent.
Yep.
How about yourself?
Well, I've been okay. A little bit hectic getting everything ready, but we're good.
Good.
So I suppose we should kick it off. How about we start off with another installment of
Random Fandom Trivia.
Love it.
So, question for you.
Yes.
And for the folks at home. Actually, precursor, next week we might have a special guest from JoJo's Toy Chest.
Nice.
For tonight, though, question for you. In the movie Ghostbusters, where does Slimer make his first appearance?
Oh.
Is it A, the New York Public Library, B, the Sedgwick Hotel, or C, the New York subway system?
Ooh, that's a good question. I haven't seen the movie in a billion years. But I remember him going through bedrooms, but like the walls between rooms. I'm going to say B.
Okay. Got our first comment coming in here from Facebook here. Also says the hotel. Any more for any more? I mean, we still don't have our Jeopardy music yet, but at some point we will get it. Any more for any more takers? Oh, Jennifer coming in here. She says B as well. Hi, Jan. Well, for those who guessed B, you are correct. It is the Sedgwick Hotel.
Sweet.
Yep. So moving on to our first slide here. Not great news, unfortunately. Noreen Virgin has passed away. And if you don't remember her, you probably do, but don't. She played Jody on today's special.
That hits me in the childhood.
Yeah, it does. She also appeared on other shows like Polka Dot Door, The Littlest Hobo, Night Heat, and Romana. She also hosted Eye on Toronto on CFTO. Remember when it was CFTO?
Oh my gosh, CFTO.
Yeah,
I haven't heard that in years either.
Yeah, one of the nicest people on television. Sad to see her go.
How old is she? 77?
77, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Jen's coming in here. Says it was her favorite show.
It was a great show. I watch it all the time.
I know, right? It was part of like a little block that you would watch after or before school.
Absolutely. I didn't know she cameoed in the Polka Dot Door, though.
Yeah.
Another classic.
Yeah. Unfortunately, she's not the only one we lost this week. We also lost Norman Jewison, director of In the Heat of the Night and Moonstruck.
Not too familiar with his work.
You actually might be. He's got other films like The Russians Are Coming, The Thomas Crown Affair, as well as
Okay.
Jesus Christ Superstar and Fiddler on the Roof.
Those are more what I'm familiar with.
Yeah, yeah. So he just put out a autobiography. Well, I guess this is still hitting me because it was 20 years ago now, but in 2004, he put out an autobiography called The Terrible Business Has Been Good to Me. And he also received the Directors Guild Lifetime Achievement Award back in 2010.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's survived by his second wife, Lynn St. David, and his children, Kevin, Michael, and Jenny, and grandchildren, Ella, Megan, Alexandra, Sam, and Henry. So,
Wow.
but
That's
he
pretty
definitely
big
left a
family. That's
mark
pretty good.
on, yeah, definitely left a mark on Hollywood.
Yeah, for real. Wow.
So, moving on to the next one here. This one I did not know anything about until I saw the trailer, but it looks interesting, and it's definitely a departure from this particular actor's previous work, Spaceman, starring Adam Sandler.
So I just watched that trailer about an hour ago,
It looks
and I
different,
had
right?
no idea what to expect. I heard that there was going on about it between him and the spider, and
Yeah,
then when I watched the trailer, the spider is human sized,
yeah,
and it's as goofy as it might seem. It seems like it's going to be a very good movie, like not comedy at all, but it's kind of got like a goofy context to it, but
yeah,
not in a humorous way. If that makes sense.
yeah. It's like a little bit of horror, but mixed with I'm going to save your marriage.
Yeah, yeah, it's kind of steep. I was watching with my wife, and she said immediately, "It's nice to see Adam Sandler do something other than his goofy comedies."
Yeah, because some of them lately have not been landing.
No, he's really hitting this.
Yeah, but
Because it shows range. I'm gonna be watching it, that's for sure. I think
yeah,
it looks pretty good.
yeah. It is going to debut in limited amount of theaters on February 23rd before it
Hmm.
releases March 1st on Netflix. So it'll get about a week run there. We've
Okay.
linked to the trailer in the show notes if you want to go check it out at home. Um, but as the synopsis says, it follows the story of an astronaut sent to the edge of the solar system to collect mysterious ancient dust and finds his earthly life falling to pieces. He turns to the only voice who can help him try and put it back together. It just so happens to belong to a creature from the beginning of time lurking in the shadows of his ship. So, not it's not your Happy Gilmore,
No,
but
it's not.
it looks interesting though.
It does, and it's different. Actually, it's a very original idea, and I gotta say I really appreciate that. There's been a lot of
Mm.
repeated ideas over and over and over again, and
Yeah,
this one is something I've never seen before.
yeah, it's kind of nice to meet an alien in space that isn't just there trying to, kill him.
No, exactly. Especially if it looks like a spider.
Yeah, yeah. Apparently, it's based on the book called Spaceman of Bohemia, written by Jaroslav Kalfar. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, so I am sorry. But as we said, stars Adam Sandler, Paul Dano, Carey Mulligan, Kunal Nanyar, and Isabella Rossellini.
Oh, Isabella Rossellini.
Yeah, it's got some
Nice.
star power there.
Yeah, it does.
But, moving on to our next one here, we're probably going to fly through these because I'm a speed talker. But
Me too.
Call of Duty has new anti-cheat tech, and what it's going to do is now it will close the game down if a mouse and keyboard player activates aim assist.
I think that is actually awesome because I'm not a Call of Duty player myself. I'm a Fortnite player, but a lot of my friends are Call of Duty players, and complaints about so many cheaters in Call of Duty. It's insane
Yeah,
because it's obviously cross-platform. I mean, obviously so is Fortnite, but I just don't come across the same issues. But it's to the point where the game doesn't become playable anymore.
yeah. I
So that's really
definitely
good.
I'm all for it on like the tournament levels because you got those esports people that are
Oh
vying for
yeah,
literal cash prizes, and in that aspect, yeah, it should be all skill. But
yep.
at the same time, for the younger player, well, I guess younger players really should be playing it, but say you're teenagers or whatnot who are not esports athletes and might need that little bit of aim assist.
A little bit of it's fine, but when you rely on it and it does motion tracking of your enemy and it takes away all the skill of being able to juggle those two toggles, and your responsiveness and this, I don't know. I understand how it can help, maybe get you in the general area or get you there, but not keep you on target.
Yeah.
It can be easily abused. And once it's in the system, you can tweak it to make it like every shot land. And that's not realistic.
No. Maybe just keep it restricted to like a training phase or something.
Yeah.
And then once you're in the actual game, then no go.
But like any other group of nerds, it's going to end up there's going to find workarounds. They're going to find things that can disguise itself as something else. And they are going to find a workaround. It's a matter of time.
Yeah.
New programs be developed that don't have the same, I don't know, signature or whatnot in the system, and it comes up with something different. It'll be a matter of time.
It's just like a challenge. It's like, all right, here's the latest layer to get through. Can you get through it?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly what it is.
Yeah. In a statement from Activision, they said, our security detection systems now target players using tools to activate aim assist while using a mouse and keyboard. The Call of Duty application will close if detected, and repeated use of these tools may lead to further account action. So,
being booted from the game that's good though, because being booted from the game will be upsetting enough. That's over and over again.
Yeah.
Have you ever played a shooter with a mouse and keyboard before?
I have not. Well, that's a lie. No, I played Doom like 40 years ago.
Okay, I mean, similar. I played like a bunch of old computer games from like the mid 2000s. So again, nothing great, like old Tom Clancy and stuff.
Nice.
Oh, did you use a mouse or was it all keyboard?
I think it was all keyboard back then.
Yeah.
Wolfenstein.
Yeah, that would have been actually Wolfenstein. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I haven't played on a computer in a long time, but using the mouse and having that control, once you get used to it, it's so easy. So I think that's why they're hammering on computer players versus console players. Yeah. Not that console players have the same access to cheats and different things, but there are options.
Yep. But Activision's warning, it comes as the Season 1 Reloaded update prepares for launch across Warzone and Modern Warfare 3. So who knows if it's just going to stick to Call of Duty or if it's going to roll out across the rest.
Like, that depends how good it is.
Yeah.
If it seems to be successful and getting, the results they're looking for, then maybe they'll just roll it out and it'll be a standard thing in all their games.
Maybe. Moving on to our next one here. Stranger Things fans are roasting Noah Schnapp's apology video. He plays Will Byers on the show, and he has released an apology video earlier this week amid social media backlash. But some fans are calling bullshit and saying, no, we don't accept it. I guess this past fall, he came under fire due to comments he made on social media about the Israel-Hamas war, and it resulted in a flux of social media posts and memes referring to Schnapp as a Zionist, and there were calls for him to be written out of the final season of Stranger Things. But he posted this on Monday night, last night, there on TikTok, and hoped to clear the air, but it's not going like he wants it to.
No. Celebrities just need to stop getting involved in political stuff and tweeting about it. Too many of them have lost their jobs because they just tweet their thoughts, which upsets a lot of people. Then cancel culture just takes care of them and they lose their jobs.
Yep.
I mean, I don't think he should get unwritten from the fifth season of Stranger Things. I mean,
it's the final season.
Exactly, but people's personal lives shouldn't make them get fired from their jobs unless it's like a terrible thing.
Yeah,
like a couple tweets here and there, but his actions aren't. And he came up with an apology video. I mean, cancel culture is kind of aggressive and mean, and it's I don't know, it's too much.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to be fired from his job for it. And he, in his apology, he said that what he's been trying to, like, the point he's been trying to make has been heavily misconstrued, and people are misunderstanding what he stands for.
Yeah.
So,
He
whether it's
also
the fact of
goes on to say that one asked him, "Why did it take you so long to put this apology out?" And he said, "Well, I wanted to get educated first." So he went and did some learning.
Yeah.
And the basics of his apology, quoting here what he said in his video: "I stand against any killing of any people and hope you guys all do too. I just hope to one day see those two groups be able to live harmoniously together in that region. And I hope for 2024 online to see people be a little more understanding and compassionate and recognize that we're all human, regardless of our race, our ethnicity, our background, our country of birth, even our sexuality of anything. We are all human. We're all the same, and we should all love each other for that and support each other and stand together for humanity and for peace." Which, I mean, really, that's a great message.
It's exactly what he wants to say.
Yeah.
If that's how he feels, and he's got no ill feelings towards one side or the other side, but just wants everyone to just sort of end the madness and get along.
Yeah.
I mean, he may have a silly way of going about it, but his message is clear.
Yeah.
At least at that point.
Yeah, because his first one was not clear.
No.
I guess the statement that got him in trouble, which has been deleted since then, it said, "You either stand with Israel or you stand with terrorism." And that was last fall. And I guess he lost nearly 500,000 followers within 2 weeks of posting that.
Oh my!
So
500,000 followers in 2 weeks. You know you screwed up one.
I'm hoping we get to 500,000 followers at some point, but
right. Just when you do this, they'll make some political comments.
Oh, I don't do politics.
No, you shouldn't. It's terrible.
No.
It's just terrible.
Yeah.
Stick to the fun stuff.
Yep. And speaking of fun stuff, this next one I'm kind of excited for. I don't know if you ever read it back in the late 90s there, early 2000s, but did you ever read the Maxx?
I never read it, but I'm familiar with the character. I can picture the comic books, and he was an Image, right? He's an Image character.
Yep.
Yes,
Yep.
And when I was and when I was in my Spawn phase as a teenager and a kid growing up, I was also into other Image comics, but I never picked one up by the Maxx. But I know exactly who he is.
Okay. Well, reportedly, there is a live action Maxx film starring Channing Tatum moving forward over at Paramount.
Now that'll be interesting to see how they make that live action.
Yeah, because it is very stylistic, and the whole thing, it just waves in and out of the fantasy land, which they call the Outback.
Yep.
But apparently this was rumored back in 2019, but with no updates since. But according to Daniel Richman, the Maxx is now moving forward at Paramount Pictures with Channing Tatum attached to play the lead role.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's going to be a lot of CGI. They're going to have to keep the artwork or the characters looking very similar to the original artwork, because that's what really sells the comic, is the look of everybody.
Yeah.
The way the art is done. Yeah.
Yeah. I am going to be a little bit forgiving if it doesn't match perfectly with the art, because it is such an extreme art style. But, the comic book first came out in 93, ran for 35 issues before getting collected into a trade paperback for DC Wildstorm. But MTV, if you remember, they did a 13-episode animated series based on the comic. And they really nailed the animation style.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to go back and forth between real life and the Outback, right?
Yeah.
So I wonder if they could do areas in the Outback animated to tailor the art style really well, but they're taking it from the storyline.
That could work.
Rather than making that part of the movie also realistic, but make it seem like it's a fantasy land and make the animation kind of really resemble the original source.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the story focuses on the masked purple-skinned hero, the Maxx, who serves as a protector for the Jungle Queen in a mysterious realm known as the Outback. But in the real world, the Jungle Queen is actually a social worker named Julie Winters, and the Maxx is a homeless guy in a box named Dave. But she, frequently bails him out of jail because he's always trying to stop the evil characters from getting to her. And it was a really good series. I'm sad it didn't go more than 35. But if you haven't seen anything from it, we actually have a link to the trailer for the MTV Cartoon. It'll give you a little bit of a sense about it, and it's in the show notes. So go give it a look and maybe hit your comic book store and grab some back issues. Fans of Supernatural are clinging to hope. Jared Padalecki says that Supernatural season 16 could be 8 episodes long, or it could potentially become a movie.
That's exciting.
Did you ever watch Supernatural series?
I watched, I want to say maybe half of the first season.
Fair enough.
I get the hype, but I don't understand. I don't know the show.
Fair enough. It really took a turn like the 4th season, and it just kept going bigger and bigger and bigger every season.
Really?
Like, as far as villains go, like at one point they were fighting, demons from purgatory, and eventually they worked their way up past the devil all the way to God. So
really,
yeah, and it got to the point. It's like, what's left? Like, you've battled every tier up to and including God. What do you do next?
Sounds like Kratos.
Yeah, yeah.
That's cool. That's a show I might not. I probably would enjoy sitting down and watch. It sounds like it'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, you should give it a watch. There's lots to it too, because like we said, there's 15 seasons out there already, and there is still like a really big fan base for it. Like, they host their own, I hate to say Comic Cons, but Supernatural cons, where they get the stars of the show to show up, and people go to it just because of that.
They have Supernatural cons. That's wild.
Yeah, and it was at one of these that they were sitting down in a panel, Padalecki and Jensen Ackles, that said last November that they are officially some ideas what they could do with the show to bring it back for one more season. And now that the writers are back, the actors are back, and we can all get together and they can start working on it. So,
that's wild. Very cool. It's make a lot of people very happy.
It would, me included. There is no.
Would you rather a movie or 8 episodes?
Probably 8 episodes, just because you'd get more content.
I was thinking that too. That'd be better overall.
Yeah, because with a movie, they would probably limit you between an hour and a half, 2 hours, right? And
yeah,
it would seem almost too rushed.
If they want to close the storyline off, then yeah, I think 8 episodes would be the best way to do it. So if we have the finale episode, it becomes really epic.
Yeah, because as it stands, like, the finale episode was a great ending.
Yeah.
So on one hand, you don't want them to spoil that, but on the other hand, yeah, I'd watch more.
Yeah. It'd be worth it. I think the episodes would please more people. I think it would end the show off better on a better note.
Yeah. But this teased Supernatural revival has not yet officially been announced, so nothing in concrete yet, but who knows? This next one, the headline bugs me. Ubisoft exec says gamers need to get comfortable not owning their games.
Yeah, not a fan of that.
No. And I get why he's saying it. He's saying that they have to get comfortable not owning them so subscriptions can take off and lead to the all digital gaming world. But I don't know. It doesn't sit right with me.
No, they have a whole generation of gamers that have been there from the beginning, like such as ourselves, who gamed all through the 90s, 80s, 2000s. And we've always owned our games. And they tell us that we need to get comfortable not doing that anymore and then giving all power and control to them with their microtransactions and everything. I don't think
Yep.
so.
And especially like in the era of, okay, this game's not going to be there anymore. Thanks for playing after you've dumped how much money into it.
Well, exactly. That's all it takes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I'm not going to be comfortable with that. But I love the Ubisoft games, so it kind of it's not like I can just never play another Ubisoft game. I'd like them; they're great.
Yeah.
But that's
like,
a tough pill to follow.
It is. Yeah, because they've got like Assassin's Creed, that whole franchise under their belt, and
Oh yeah, they also did. I mean, not that they have anything new for it, but Splinter Cell was one of my favorite games for a long time. But they just stopped making new stuff.
yeah,
That was Ubisoft, wasn't it?
maybe.
Yeah, I think it was. But yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah, but Philippe Tremblay, he's the director of subscriptions at Ubisoft. He's quoted as saying, "I don't have a crystal ball, but when you look at the different subscription services that are out there, we've had a rapid expansion over the last couple of years, but it's still relatively small compared to other models. We're seeing expansion on the consoles as the likes of PlayStation and Xbox bring in new people. On PC, from an Ubisoft standpoint, it's already been great, but we're looking to reach out more on PC, so we see opportunity out there."
Terrible.
Yeah. He continues on saying, "One of the things we saw is that gamers are used to, a little bit like DVD, having and owning their games. That's the consumer shift that needs to happen. They got comfortable not owning their CD collection or DVD collection. That's a transformation that's been a bit slower to happen in games. But as gamers grow comfortable in that aspect, you don't lose your progress. If you resume your game at another time, your progress file is still there. That's not being deleted. You don't lose what you've built in the game or your engagement with the game. So it's about feeling comfortable with not owning your game." But
I don't know.
again,
The games are like $100 now. I don't want to say
yeah,
$100 is something I don't own.
yeah,
It's like $100 for a game that I have the right to enjoy as long as they let me.
yeah,
But
yeah,
like CDs, DVDs, or Blu-rays, they really cost $25.
yeah,
10, $15. So by not owning that, you don't really feel like you're out anything,
yeah,
and you have access to. It's easier to sit there and listen to 15 parts of different 15 albums than when you're driving in the through the day on playlists. But on video games, you usually play a couple games and you stick to it. Maybe you don't really venture that far back and forth to spend that kind of money on a monthly subscription to only play a couple games a month
yeah,
until you get bored and they'll move on to two more.
yeah. Like with CDs, I think it's actually not bad because like the amount of stuff out there available is expansive. Like
Yeah,
you want to find an old album from 1973, you can go find that.
yeah.
But like with
You
movies
really
and
market.
whatnot, if you can't find it anymore, chances are you're not going to.
I noticed. Yeah,
And that's the same
and
thing with
it,
games, right?
yeah, there's a lot of games that, like, say there's a few Xbox games from the original Xbox I would love to be able to play again on newer systems, but I can't, and they're not digitally playable at all at this point. So
Hmm.
there's still limitations to all of that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't see it taking off very well, but I guess over the next number of years, people are going to have to just sort of accept the transition if that's the way it's going to go. Because once Ubisoft does it, then you're going to have all the other major
Yeah.
developers going at it as well. They're just gonna but then they're going to have consoles that are like, you have to download the content. They have a
Yeah.
console that's got what, 1 terabyte, and that holds 3 games.
Yeah. You're going to have an expansion issue real quick.
Yeah, that's already an issue now when you already own the physical game in the first place because they have to download 100 gigs of data just to play it.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's going to have to be some that shift, not just in that, but in other areas to make it more usable.
Yeah. But, yeah, what else was there here? Yeah, that's the other one. Tremblay's comments, they also bring up the issue of video game preservation because you can go online, right? And there are a few spots where you can find like game emulators where you can actually find like old NES games and whatnot that are out of print and you can't get anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I don't know if half these emulators are actually legitimate and paying rights to the original owners, or if it's just, Pirate Bay and go find them.
I think the second one is more likely it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. It's not necessarily licensed, just sort of
preserve.
exported into a different file. Yeah.
Yeah.
It still preserves the legacy of the game, which is great. But the
Yeah.
people aren't getting the credit who, brought it in the first place.
Yeah.
But that's still going to be a thing for sure.
Yeah.
And they could have come out with more of those retro consoles to have like 200 games installed on them.
Yeah.
So that's always fun.
Yep. So hopefully the inevitable all digital future is still a ways off, but
I know.
Here's something they can't make digital. Let's talk some toys.
Toys can't be digital. Actually, that's a lie. If you follow McFarlane, he's got these freaking NFTs. What the hell is that about?
That's not
$80 for an
toy.
NFT. He's got this thing. There's a new figure coming out, and I want to say it's the Batman. It's Lucius Fox and the Tumbler is coming out as a 2-pack.
Okay.
And according to McFarlane Toys, the toy store, you get 30% off that purchase if you already have the NFT.
Really?
Which you buy for like $80 in the first place. I thought the NFTs died with COVID.
Yeah. I don't think that's much of a trade-off.
It isn't. McFarlane is trying to sell digital toys. He's had like 2 or 3 available already. I don't understand how he has the enthusiasm to advertise them the way he is, because they're not interesting at all.
Yeah. And it goes back to the whole physical art thing too, right? Like, is a hand-drawn print or a hand-drawn piece of art not worth it anymore versus something mass-produced and digitally stamped?
I'd rather have hand-drawn by McFarlane versus an NFT.
Yeah.
Any day of the week.
Any day.
But yeah, other than that, real toys.
Yes.
Those are where it's at. That's where the money goes.
All right, first up here, we've got Billy's Pet Mogwai Gizmo is getting released as a 3.75-inch scale. He's got a little bit of articulation, but it is a reaction figure, so don't expect a ton of it. But he looks good. He looks good. He comes with a little 3D glasses accessory, and he's available right now at super7.com. And he scales
excellent.
nicely with Stripe.
Yes. He's cute. They reproduce him. He looks really good. Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely a departure from their normal style of reaction figure, but it works for him.
Oh yeah, Gremlins is still a cult classic. He'll sell.
Totally. We still need a part 3 to that franchise.
That would pretty much be awesome if they came out. If they could redo 1 and 2, and then have a third one and make it a trilogy, and just release all of them, that would be awesome.
Yeah, because I've seen a couple episodes of the reboot cartoon. It is not for me. No. A little hard to follow, but in the animation style, I don't know, just doesn't do it for me.
What year is it from? How new is it?
Last year, I believe.
Really, I didn't know it came out.
Yep. But next up here, this one is actually a favorite of Wes's, the franchise anyway. Axis and Allies is doing a new one involving G.I. Joe in Battle for the Arctic Circle.
That is great. I haven't played that game in a long time, but I have played it and I really enjoyed it. And this takes it up a notch on the enjoyment scale for sure.
Because they're mixing it with G.I. Joe. It will feature over 100 plastic miniatures, and the premise is Cobra has established a base at the North Pole and threatens the world with its weather dominator. And only G.I. Joe is ready to defeat these forces without drawing the entire world into a larger conflict. It's available for pre-order right now at Hasbro Pulse, $60 US, so that'll transfer to a little bit more Canadian, but that's about par for a game like that.
That'd be a really fun evening to spend with friends. That'd be great.
Yeah. if GI Joe isn't your thing, they're also releasing Axis and Allies, the Anniversary Edition, as well as Axis and Allies, the North African one. So the anniversary one, it includes more than 650 plastic minis, packaged in a 6 country-specific storage box, 14 dice, and more. And it also features a 6th playable position, with Italy joining the Axis powers as a full partner. But
Wow.
yeah, you join the, I guess on the Allied side anyway, the USA takes control of the Chinese forces resisting the Japanese invasion. So I never played the original myself, but I am aware of it.
Fun. That's getting released.
Yeah. And then the other one, North Africa, it allows you to command the forces of either Axis or the Allies in multiple campaigns that may again capture the imagination of the entire world and change the course of history. And both of these are available for pre-order at Hasbro Pulse, each sold separately. The Anniversary Edition will run you $130 US, where the North Africa version will run you $90 US.
Wow.
So not cheap, but if it's your cup of tea, you know.
Yeah.
It's not completely out of the ballpark.
No, that's a big game, though.
Yeah. And then switching back over to Super 7, shipping now is the made-to-order 7-inch scale full-color Nosferatu, inspired by the 1922 film, which is kind of nice because I know there is a remake of this in the works. And if I'm not mistaken, it stars Pennywise the Clown, Bill Skarsgård.
Oh, wow. Yes. Very cool.
So this should be out there anytime now. So keep your eyes peeled. Next up here, we have from McFarlane, the Batman Injustice 2 Nightmare Edition. 7-inch gold label figure with black and gold deco. Comes with the stand and art card. It's pre-order now. And also, folks who've been waiting, the McFarlane Batman from Batman v Superman. So you can get your Batfleck.
That's been waited for a long time.
Yeah.
They just went live in the US a couple days ago, and they're sold out almost instantly.
Yeah. This one, again, 7 inches, comes with extra hands, 2 batarangs, grapple launcher, base and art card. But if I'm not mistaken, this is the one, again, from that 6-pack, just reissued, correct?
I don't think it's the same one. I think the head sculpt, I think, is a bit different. Okay. And I think the colors are a little bit brighter. But I could be wrong. I don't have the 6-pack, but
yeah,
I have been following it. I don't think it's the same figure. I think it's just a similar version of it.
Fair enough. But yeah, apparently they're for pre-order now.
Yeah, they did a good job. He looks good.
Mm-hmm.
He proves that when he wants a character to look like the actor, he can make it happen.
Yeah.
If that's the point, he's done an awesome job.
But because a few of them he's like nailed it, but then other ones it's like no. Michael Keaton, a good example of that one.
Yeah, not great. But the Ben Affleck armored Batman, the platinum version from Justice League with the goggles on his forehead, is probably the best Affleck sculpt he's ever, of all the ones he's done. That is bang on. Then he did Uma Thurman beautifully with Poison Ivy when he had the recent Batman and Robin wave. Nice. They all look so good, like they're actors and actors.
Arnold looked good out of that too.
He looks like Arnold.
Yeah.
So he looked like Clooney, like Chris O'Donnell. Like they all look the way they're supposed to look. Their faces were right on. He did a really good job with that wave.
Yeah. I'm hoping he does a good job of this next one because we got a first look today of Catwoman and the Batpod for a gold label 2-pack from The Dark Knight Rises. The pre-order for this takes place tomorrow at 9 a.m. Exclusively at the McFarlane Toy Store. So you're gonna have to be up, fairly early to get on it. But from the sample shot they've got circulating here, it doesn't look bad.
No, it looks good. The bat pod looks fantastic.
Yeah. And since she comes with it, I'm guessing everybody who buys it will recreate that one scene in the movie. So
100%, yes. And since they already have, the Batman Forever wave came out and sold really well. So this is definitely going to be in addition to that wave.
yeah. But then we shift over to some Hasbro
Batman
stuff.
Begins. Batman Forever.
Yeah, Forgiver was the original one, the original 4-pack.
Yeah, I meant Batman Begins.
There you go.
There it is.
There's
Didn't
lots
feel
of
right.
Batman. Lots of Batman out there. But shifting over to Hasbro, we got some stuff coming out of there today. I believe this is a reissue from the Ghost HasLab one, but Sabine Wren and Chopper are getting their 2-pack issued out.
Fun.
Yeah. So basically, it's 2 carded vintage figures in 1 pack, and they come with a bunch of accessories, a couple loft cats, multiple accessories, interchangeable helmet head, jetpack with removable flame, energy shield, blasters, and a removable radar dish. So again, these ones are going pre-order exclusively on Hasbro Pulse tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern, and they will be up for pre-order through February 14th. So lots of time to put in your order for these.
Wow.
So
now, are those the ones that have? Do they have ball joints on the legs, and like are they limited articulation, or are they pretty? Are they like the? Well, there's 2 different kinds of retro or 3.75-inch figures.
Yeah.
You have the cheaper ones that have like very limited in articulation. Then you have the ones that actually have a lot of detail, and I think that's like the good ones.
Yeah. They don't look too bad. I'm wondering though if they just had like more of these mass produced for the HasLab project than they actually sold. So would make sense.
Yeah.
But switching over to the 6-inch Black Series, these were revealed by during the Hasbro Pulse Star Wars fan stream today. We get a Grand Admiral Thrawn inspired by the Ahsoka series.
Yeah.
We get a Phase 1 clone trooper inspired by Attack of the Clones, and a Droideka destroyer from Phantom Menace, which I believe is the first of its kind in the Black Series.
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen those before.
Because I know we've got a version of Thrawn and a version of the clone troopers before, but this particular droid, I don't believe they've released it in anything other than the 3 3/4-inch scale. But
it's gonna be great. I think it looks fantastic.
Yeah, all these again available for pre-order tomorrow at 1 p.m. on Hasbro Pulse. So, but they had one more reveal for the Star Wars thing. And it's back to the vintage side of things. We got 6 new vintage figures here. We've got the Mandalorian from the Mines of Mandalore episode, Grogu, Clone Commander Rex from the Braca mission, Luke Skywalker in his X-Wing pilot outfit, Axe Woves, and the Mandalorian Fleet Commander, all inspired by their appearances in various stuff. Again, pre-ordering tomorrow at 1 p.m. But they look good. Like for 3 3/4-inch figures, they look decent.
Yeah, they do. They have a lot of good detail on them. Yeah, these are the good ones I was thinking of. The Rebels Hunter, my son just got for Christmas, and the detail and face prints, like the painting on this, is actually quite phenomenal for a 3 3/4-inch figure. These are going to be really, really good figures.
Mm-hmm.
Bad Batch. Bad Batch. Sorry.
We'll get to that in a bit. But,
I'm rusty.
That's all good. But yeah, like even the detail on the Mandalorian's cape here, right, is pretty intricate.
Oh yeah. Well, that'd be good.
Yeah. So if you're looking to pre-order them, head over to Hasbro Pulse and spend some money. But I guess it is that time where Wes's segment would chime in. But since he's not here, I'm going to try to pull off the lexicon.
Loading lexicon. Generating responses. Responses ready. Lexicon is the word game where you decide what's real and what is a con. Get ready. Here we go.
Okay, so we all know the rules. We're going to pull out a nonsensical word that is 100% true, and we're going to try and fool you guys with the definition. So tonight's word is blatherskite. Blatherskite. Sorry, I don't have digital responses. That's Wes's thing. Okay, definition 1. A person who talks at great length without making much sense. Definition 2. Chiefly Scottish, to strike an object with a glancing blow, like ricochet or skip. And definition 3. In relation to plants, the act of blooming or blossoming in late springtime. Blatherskite. What do you think?
I've never heard of that word in my life.
That's the idea.
Definition 1 sounds a lot like me.
I know it sounds
Would
like
I be a blatherskite? I don't know.
Jen will tell you I'm a blatherskite.
Yeah, I could very well be a blatherskite, and you know what? I'm okay with that. Chiefly Scottish, to strike an object with a glancing blow. Skip. I don't know. I'm going to have to, you know what? I'll go with 1. I'll call myself a blatherskite in this situation.
Fair enough. Ray Daw coming in here with number 1 as well. Any more out there? Oh, Silver Spider. Hello. Says number 3. Number 1 sounds like a few people I know. Cough, my daughter.
Mine too.
Yeah. All right. For anybody who guessed anything other than number 1, sorry. It is indeed someone who talks too much.
Amazing.
Without making sense.
Amazing. Somehow you knew I was going to be on this segment, so you just had to throw that in there, didn't you?
Well, it's more for me. Just ask Jen. So that is our lexicon. So new word for the week, blatherskite.
I'll be using that one at least twice this week.
Yeah. All right, moving back over into the other stuff. Troy Baker is playing Indiana Jones in the upcoming game, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle.
That looks like a fantastic game.
It does.
I can't wait to play it. Well, I probably won't play it for a while because it's probably going to be PS5 only or Xbox. But it looks fantastic. It finally does Indiana Jones justice.
Yeah,
on the gaming side.
Let's see here. Apparently, his most, I guess, known role, would be Joel Miller in The Last of Us. But I've heard the video game trailer here, and he does awesome. Like, it is a pretty good Indiana Jones.
It's interesting. When I was watching it with my son, I made the comment that the whole time I'm watching it, I didn't realize it wasn't Harrison Ford talking.
Yeah.
He does a very good job.
Silver Spider says, I'm a huge fan of Troy Baker, but I'm not sure about this. Well, I'm going to reserve my judgment until it actually comes out. But, based on what we've seen so far, it looks good because there is a trailer out there with some gameplay footage. And the footage itself looks like it's intercut between gameplay, like actual gameplay, and your cinematic scenes, and the transitions they're not bad. Like, they're hardly noticeable.
Seems fairly seamless.
Yeah, we've linked to the trailer here in the show notes as well. But what does it say here? Apparently, this game is arriving at least over 3 years after it was announced back in January of 2021. And it will tell the story of Indiana Jones and what basically went on in the late 30s between Raiders of the Lost Ark and The Last Crusade. So it'll fill in some movie gaps, and from what I've seen, it looks awesome.
It does. And he did his whip like a boss. He's kicking ass with that whip. And that's exactly what you want to see.
Yeah. Some people have worried that it might be just like a Uncharted knockoff. But, I mean, at this point, Indiana Jones was around long for. Yeah.
He's the OG of treasure hunting. And so, I mean, although the game hasn't come out till now, you could say that those other games are a knockoff of this of what you'd expect to get from Indiana Jones. So it's just, coming around full circle now.
Yeah. Yeah. Because like you would say, like Lara Croft was a ripoff of Indiana Jones, and then Uncharted was a knockoff of Tomb Raider, and so far and so forward. But I mean, it's a movie genre type, right?
And it looks like it's playing a movie. Yeah. Exactly. But according to the trailer I watched, it's playing the game is like watching a little movie. Like the storyline is so integrated into the gameplay. It's fantastic. Yeah.
Silver Spider says, "I've been burned too many times on game trailers. Things can change." And that is true. Like, because they're always going to show you the best foot forward, right?
Oh yeah.
And whether or not that is what comes out at the end, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah. But when you're watching a lot of cinematic trailers for the game, and then all of a sudden the gameplay is disappointing, or the controls suck, or something, it's just, they can really burn you. Yeah. I'm optimistic. I think this will be a good game.
Fingers crossed. Not that I'm going to play it anytime soon because I'm still 2 consoles back, but
in due time.
Yep. This next one I am actually caught up on. Seth MacFarlane's Ted show has apparently set records for Peacock streaming. According to or is it here? I lost my spot. Sorry. According to some sources at Peacock, they're not revealing any numbers, but they're saying that this is the highest streamed show in their Peacock app history. And I know they've only released the first 3 episodes. The first 2 came as a 1-pack, but it's even doing well on Rotten Tomatoes with the audience score set at 90%.
Wow.
Yeah. And I know
Wes, seen it yourself?
I have seen it. I've seen all 3 episodes so far, and I was in stitches. Like there's some raunchy jokes in there, and there's some other stuff that like takes it deadpan further, and it just makes it so funny.
Amazing.
Not going to spoil it, and I'm not going to say it here because some of it is rude. Again, it's Ted. If you're a fan of the movies, you definitely need to go check out the series. I know Wes had seen the first 2 episodes, and he felt that it was a little bit kind of forced, but I don't know, the kid doing the young Mark Wahlberg, he's doing okay. Like he's got the accent down, he's got the mannerisms of the older Mark Wahlberg. It's Max Burkholder in the role of John, and he's doing awesome with it. The other one in it that kind of caught me off guard was Scott Grimes. He plays the father, but you'll know him from American Dad as the voice of the son, Steve Jr.
Oh, yes.
And when you're watching Ted, you can hear little twinges of that voice just squeaking out in the edges. So it's like, okay, I know who you are. I know what character you do, but it sounds wrong coming out of you.
That sounds good. I have to catch up on that.
Yeah, but definitely give it a watch. It's worth the shot. So streaming on Peacock, and I believe it's also on Showcase for us Canadian folks. So
Yeah. Is there a cost to watch it?
I don't know for sure. Probably there's a cost for everything these days.
Yeah, sure.
This next one coming out of Empire Magazine, they've given us our first look, and apparently Slimer is going to be in the new Ghostbusters movie. He's coming back.
That's really exciting. That Ghostbusters movie looks fantastic, by the way. I'm a big fan of the reboots. He'd be so good to bring back.
Yeah, because like he's a ghost. It's not like he's going to die.
Yeah, so he's going to get older. He just, it's going to look the same. It's going to be the same.
Yeah. I mean, it is a kind of sad looking image. It looks like he's in someone's attic or something, surrounded by like a broken ghost trap and some other thrown away stuff. But there's no indication as to what he's doing. Is he just going to be a cameo, or is he going to actually factor in like he did in Ghostbusters 2? But, at least he's back. Good to see him there.
Yeah.
And,
yeah. Let's see what it's forgotten about.
Yeah. But we don't have to wait too much longer for this one. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire is going to be in theaters March 22nd of this year. So just a couple short months to go.
I think it's going to be one I have to see in theater.
Yeah.
I was a big fan of the first one.
Yeah. And of course, we've got Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Ernie Hudson, Annie Potts returning from the original franchise, as well as Carrie Coons, Paul Rudd, McKenna Grace, and Finn Wolfhard from Afterlife. So,
that's what I'm liking. I really like so far how they're sort of transitioning in the new team, like the new team.
Yeah, it's like
at this sharing screen time with the old team at the same time.
Yeah, it's like passing the torch without fully giving it over.
Exactly. I like what they're doing, and I think it's going to be really easy to see it forward with the new team after this. Because I predict after this episode, after this movie, they're going to say goodbye to the three original Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
And now the third one's going to be just the new team.
Yeah.
But, I like it.
In theaters March 22nd. Should be good. This next one is kind of neat. I know not a lot of people are kind of keen on this one, but they've released 5 new character posters, and there's rumors about the runtime from Madam Web. The next Sony Marvel Spider-Verse, I guess you want to call it, from Sony. But rumor has it that the runtime is going to be around 1 hour and 56 minutes, which it doesn't seem that long, but apparently it is 4 minutes ahead of Venom, 19 minutes longer than Venom Let There Be Carnage, and 12 minutes longer than Morbius. So that would make it the longest Sony Spider-Man universe movie so far.
How many minutes?
1 hour and 56 minutes.
Oh.
So, I mean, standard movie anymore, right?
Yeah.
But, what's her name here? Yeah, like I said, there are 5 new posters, one for Ezekiel, one for each of the 3 extra Spider Women, and one for Madam Web herself. So, Sydney Sweeney in the movie there, she's quoted as saying, "I can't wait to be able to be next to these girls that I filmed with, Dakota, Isabella, and Celeste. We had so much fun together, and I'm really excited that it's just going to be a powerhouse of badass females for the world to see." And
awesome.
It comes out February 14th, so we have to wait like a couple weeks for it. But, a lot of people are saying that it's not going to do well, but I'm done with culture telling us that a movie isn't going to do well before it's even hit.
I know, I agree. Especially, and you don't know if they're saying that because it's got all female leads, and they don't think that female-led movies like this are going to be very strong. I think I thought it looked awesome. The trailer makes it look really good, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. I think it's going to be a pretty good watch.
Yeah, like knowing all the Spider-Man lore that I do, I'm curious how they're going to pull Ezekiel off, because he was brought in to instruct Peter on the whole spider totem thing. He wasn't a
Mm.
villain. He was more of a mentor.
Okay.
So it will be interesting to see what kind of twist they put on him here. But I get it. Like they have to use certain elements and not use others because they can't always have Spider-Man in there, right? Even though this is a Spider-Man universe movie.
Right.
Silver Spider says the more Spider-Man or from the Spider-Verse, the better. Agreed. Because there are some really awesome ones out there.
Absolutely. You can't go wrong there.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah. But this
So this
next
is happening at the same time as Spider-Man? Like, you said it's the same universe as Spider-Man?
Yes, the Sony Spider-Verse is what they're
Yes.
Sony Spider-Man universe, I guess they're calling it.
Okay.
But because that intertwines with Marvel's cinematic universe, technically it should all be one, but might just be a multiverse type thing.
Yeah, right. Interesting.
Yeah. This next one is good news for fans of Daredevil. Karen Page and Foggy Nelson are returning to the cast of Daredevil Born Again. So we're going to have our Nelson and Murdoch again.
That gets me very excited because Daredevil's one of my favorite superhero TV shows of all time.
Yeah. It was thought that these two characters would not be coming over in the MCU transition, but they've just been confirmed. So Karen Page and Foggy Nelson will return to the series, played again by Deborah Ann Woll and Eldon Henson. So interesting to see what they do there.
Very cool.
Also, we from this journalist Jeff Schneider, he published that information, but also highlighted that Daredevil Born Again will be divided into 2 parts of 9 episodes. So 18 episode run, that's not bad.
Not bad at all.
No.
I can't wait for that to come back.
Yeah,
I hope it's as dark as it was for the Netflix series. I hope they make it very, very the same.
Yeah.
Because I really enjoyed how gruesome it was. I enjoyed how dark it was.
Yeah, because he's a street level hero beating the crap out of criminals. So.
And he didn't hold back.
No.
And it was the show was so good for that. It was brutal. It was fantastic.
Yeah. But I don't know when this one is set to arrive. I don't think there's an official date or anything for it, but I believe there's still episodes that they need to record or film. So should be a little while yet, but if they already have half, I could see them definitely releasing half and then releasing a second half later.
Yeah. Yeah. It worked out well for other shows. I like that. Yeah. I don't mind that at all.
Yeah. This next one, we've got Oliver Stone is jumping in with his problem with Barbie and John Wick. So, he's using these ones as examples of what's inherently wrong with modern Hollywood. And he's kind of echoing what Martin Scorsese said about the MCU, but in an interview with Yahoo, Oliver Stone went off on tangents while discussing his new documentary Nuclear Now, which is an investigative piece on nuclear energy. Again, not a Hollywood blockbuster, a documentary type. But he was asked to comment on the prospect of directing Barbie 2, which I guess was jokingly hinted at by a Mattel executive. And he is quoted as saying, Ryan Gosling is wasting his time if he's doing that shit for money. He should be doing more serious films. He shouldn't be a part of this infantilization of Hollywood. And, he kind of echoes Scorsese's thoughts about Marvel movies, saying that they have undercut the quality of Hollywood's releases in recent years. But, I cry foul on that. But he also is quoted as saying, now it's all fantasy, 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 including all the war pictures. Fantasy, fantasy. Even the Fast and Furious movies, which I used to enjoy, have become more like Marvel movies. I mean, how many crashes can you see? And admittedly, yes, the Fast franchise kind of got out of hand there when they started driving in space. But as far as other movies, I'm sorry, but like none of Oliver Stone's movies have moved me to tears, whereas some Marvel movies have.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yep.
But and he's saying, that he was on a plane and he watched John Wick, which is 3 hours, he said, and I fell asleep about 778 times during it. I kept waking up and having to face him killing more people. It's like the world has degenerated into non-logic. And I don't know what to tell him. Like, yeah, John Wick is a shoot 'em up.
Yeah, literally. That's the point of it. It's literally that. If you
Yeah.
don't want to watch a shoot 'em up, don't put it on.
Yeah.
You'll be disappointed.
And like, as far as fantasy coming out of Hollywood, we need it right now. Like, the world
I know.
sucks. We need like a positive fantasy to escape to.
Exactly. And one that's just fun to watch.
Yeah. And that's
And
what
it's
Marvel
fantastic.
brings you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's fun to watch, and it's yeah, a little bit of something for everybody. You don't have to love every character, but there's a movie you're gonna like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, his new documentary, Nuclear Now, is actually streaming on Prime Video if you want to go check it out. But yeah, as far as Marvel ruining Hollywood, no.
Not at all. I admit the multiverse saga hasn't been hitting as hard, as the Infinity Saga.
Yeah.
But I still go see every movie. I feel like there's very few that I dislike. But I think they've still done a very good job. They've lost an edge that they had, and I hope that they get it back. But I'm still really enjoying what they have.
Yeah. Silver Spider says John Wick is an amazing shut your brain off movie. Nothing wrong with those movies sometimes. Exactly. Sometimes that's what you need.
So
like
good.
just
Exactly.
go and have fun at a movie.
Watch 200 people get shot in the head.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. Love it.
This next one I'm thinking might be a good shut your brain off type movie. The trailer dropped for Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F. So we've linked to the trailer in the show notes as well. But Detective Axel Foley is back on the beat in Beverly Hills after his daughter's life is threatened, played by Taylor Page. She and Foley team up with a new partner, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and old pals Billy Rosewood, played again by Judge Reinhold, and John Taggart, again by John Ashton, to turn up the heat and uncover a conspiracy. So it's coming from producers Jerry Bruckheimer, Eddie Murphy, Chad Oman, and it's directed by Mark Malloy. It will be on Netflix sometime in the summer of this year. So the trailer looks good.
It looks good. And a great way to enter the trailer is in the first scene of the trailer, they have theme music playing in the background.
Yeah.
From the 80s. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's remixed with the Notorious B.I.G.'s Going Back to Cali, and it just fits. It fits good. So good. So go give that trailer a watch and watch for it to appear on Netflix this summer.
I'll be seeing that one.
Next up here, the public domain horror universe continues to expand. This time it is Pinocchio Unstrung.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so from the filmmakers behind Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, and the sequel that's coming up, as well as the upcoming Bambi the Reckoning and Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare. I know, so many of them are hitting, but it's coming out, Pinocchio Unstrung. All we have so far is this sketch from that was revealed on Bloody Disgusting. Excuse me. As well as little title logo, but there are unannounced characters from the universe will be revealed in the sketch drawings in the closing credits of Winnie the Pooh 2. So when you're watching that, I guess you're getting teasers for this. But apparently it will go into production this summer with a theatrical release planned for late 2024. So I'm not expecting a Hollywood blockbuster from this one, just a straight up gore fest slasher type. But
do they get permission from Disney to use their characters?
Well, that's the thing, right? The licenses for all these characters is coming up because of public domain. They're entering the public domain. So now, as long as you don't tiptoe too hard into the current versions, there's a lot you can get away with.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So, Pinocchio horror movie, why not?
Ever.
This next one, Wes is excited about. He says he might be the only one, but Tron 3 has finally started filming as the director unveils the first set photos, which don't give away much. It's just the clapper and the director's chair. But the third movie, it's starring Jared Leto and Evan Peters. It's officially underway, and they are currently filming. It had been announced that it would be called Tron Ares, and the plan was to start filming in 2023, but again, the strike delayed that. So, yeah, the filmmaker finally shared a photo of the director's chair on set and said, here's the new logo. And what it is a Tron with a stylized 3 in place of the O. So
like
it looks like the Ares has been dropped, but there's no plot details revealed for it yet. But the screenplay was penned by Jesse Wigato, and Jack Thorne. While the story is by the original Tron director Steven Lisberger and Bonnie McBird. So past that, we don't know too much about it. There's no final date for anything, but at least it's underway. So, as long as they don't shelve it for a tax write-off, we should see it at some point.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know there was a Tron 2, but I enjoyed the first one, and I'm interested to see where it's going.
Wes swears by the soundtrack for part 2, so.
Oh, good to know.
Yeah. But this next one, again, we're dipping back into that whole physical media thing. But Walmart will be removing physical Xbox games, starting with Starfield. And as it's been reported over the last few months, they were going to begin removing physical Xbox games from its store and downsizing the video game section. But there's been a memo that is leaked on X. And copies of Starfield, apparently starting as soon as January 22nd, will be listed at 3 cents. So they can liquidate before they have to destroy.
Oh.
Yeah. So according to the memo, it seems the stores have until February 5th of 2024 to get rid of all this copies of Starfield. And this is Microsoft's decision, and the retailer is just following instructions, but again, this is like the beginning of the end for it, right?
Wow.
So if you wanted a copy of it, go grab it.
Early. What day does that start?
Actually, yesterday. Started yesterday.
Oh, okay. Is that in the U.S. or is that like anywhere?
I don't know if it's fully Canada as well yet, but I could see it following suit in Canada if it's like corporate Walmart taking it all out. So.
Interesting.
But you can pretty much expect more games to follow this trend in the coming months. There's an upcoming Xbox console exclusive Hellblade 2, which will be digital only, and there will be no physical release for the game. So, the digital transition is really kind of shifting into gear, which sucks, but what are you going to do?
It's going to save the developers a ton of money, right?
Well, I don't know if it will or not, because the easy part was always mass producing the physical, right?
Yeah, but there's a cost to it.
There's a cost to it, but it's nowhere near the cost of producing the game itself. Like there was one we talked about last week. Sega is trying to do their new super game for $800 million or something like that.
What now?
Yeah, they're developing a game and they're expecting to spend in the area of $800 million.
Sega? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You can go back and check out last week's for more detail on that one.
Wow.
It's going to be weird the next few years, seeing everything transition. Same as it was when Best Buy dropped all DVDs and stuff, right?
Yeah. Yeah, true.
But another trailer that dropped this week, which gave us goosebumps, The Bad Batch, the final season, dropped their trailer. And it looks awesome.
It actually does look awesome.
Yeah.
My son was watching with me. He's absolutely loves Bad Batch, and he was ecstatic. Every second of that trailer, he was bouncing up and down.
Yeah, and it just kept giving you more and more. Like we see the broken Crosshair. We see Omega chained up. We see them on various missions, and they're like, Omega's waited long enough. We got to go get her.
Yeah.
And then, we get Cad Bane. And just when you think you can't get any more at the end, they give you Asajj Ventress.
Yeah.
So we did link to the trailer in the show notes, so you can go have a look. The final season of Star Wars The Bad Batch starts streaming February 21st on Disney Plus, and they're doing a 3-episode premiere. So you get 3 right off the hop.
That's generous.
Not bad.
This whole waiting a week at a time for an episode really sucks after being used to binging everything.
It does, but at the same time, it still feels like your Saturday morning cartoon, right?
It
Get
does.
one a week, and you gotta wait.
Yeah,
Instantly
yeah,
wait
exactly. Teach you patience.
Yep. Next, coming out of Marvel, though, they're hailing this next event as the bloodiest event in Marvel Comics history, as
Wow.
each one is getting mature red band edition that will feature even more gory art than the regular versions.
Really?
Yeah, so kind of a first for them having to put a red band on their covers, but
Expanding their audiences.
yeah. So there will be 2 versions of the core Blood Hunt limited series, the regular edition and then the mature edition with additional pages and more graphic art, too explicit for the regular edition.
That sounds awesome.
The expanded mature issues will be polybagged in a full-on red band sleeve that will make it clear which edition is which to prevent prying eyes from looking at the gory bits without purchasing the issue. So each of the 5 issues will get their red band along with the main series. And in it, writer Jed McKay and artist Pepe Larraz are bringing together the Avengers, Doctor Strange, Clea, Moon Knight's brother, Hunter Moon, Tigra, Spider-Man, Bloodline, and Blade to take on an army of vampires as they sink their fangs into the Marvel Universe.
Oh my goodness.
So they're basically calling it like Earth's final night has fallen and the heroes of the doomed world try to stem the tide of blood that is to come. So expect like a crazy, bloody vampire horror book.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It sounds entertaining. It does.
Yeah. The first issue goes on sale May 1st, and it'll be followed up 3 days later on Free Comic Book Day with a Blood Hunt one-shot. So, 2 in 1 week. Not bad.
Not bad at all.
Yeah. And then closer to home here, if you haven't already, make sure you go over to our Facebook page or whichever one you prefer and cast your votes for this year's first annual Fanny Awards. So we're looking for your choices on best movie, best TV series, best new music, best performance by a screen actor, best performance by a screen actress, best film soundtrack, best TV soundtrack, best toy, best video game. Give us your choices, and we will pull them all together and do a broadcast sometime. I believe February 6th is the date for it, as polling closes on January 31st. So still lots of time to go out there and cast your votes. Have you cast your vote yet, Morgan?
I haven't.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
gotta get on that.
I'm guilty, but it will be done tonight. Because I want to see all those different options I have.
This next
Have you
one,
voted?
I have. So it might just be my choices. That'd be pretty boring. But this next one came out today. WWE Monday Night Raw is moving to Netflix. So after more than 3 decades on the air, it's going to be making the switch permanently to streaming. As per Variety, it's been reported that WWE and Netflix have just agreed to a major deal to move the pro wrestling TV show Monday Night Raw to Netflix starting in January of 2025, where it will stream exclusively there. So I don't know what that holds for their whole WWE streaming service. But yeah, reportedly that.
Do you think they'll get more viewers?
I don't know, honestly. It might be good for them, but reportedly this deal is for $500 million per year for 10 years.
Holy.
Yeah, and after the first 5 years, Netflix will have the option to opt out or to extend the deal for another 10 years. And yeah, it's much bigger money for WWE with its current 5-year Monday Night Raw deal with NBC Universal in the 250 to 260 million per year range.
Wow.
So yeah, the deal there is set to expire in October of 2024. So it's not really clear what's going to happen between October and January, but you know, Chief Content Officer Bela Bajari of Netflix confirmed the deal in a statement saying, we are excited to have WWE Raw with its huge and passionate multi-generational fan base on Netflix. By combining our reach, recommendations, and fandom with WWE, we'll be able to deliver more joy and value for their audiences and our members. Raw is the best of sports entertainment, blending great characters and storytelling with live action 52 weeks a year. And we're thrilled to be in the long-term partnership with WWE.
Wow. Good for them. That could be huge for them both.
Yeah.
That's
Silver
a
Spider.
lot of money.
Yeah. Silver Spider says, doesn't WWE have their own streaming service? And yeah, they do. So I don't know how that's going to affect them, because if it's exclusively on Netflix, that means it can't be over there. But you know, it's going to be weird because if Raw is on Netflix, the rights to SmackDown were previously sold to NBC Universal and USA Network, reportedly for $1.4 billion for 5 years. And their other show, NXT, will also be moving from the USA Network to CW in October of 2024. And that deal is said to be for 5 years, around the 20 to 25 million per year mark. So
wow.
A lot of money changing hands, and you're going to have to go to multiple sources now to get your WWE fix.
Yeah, maybe.
But, you know, it could work for them or it could work against them. But
well, that kind of money changing hands. Yeah, time will tell. But with that kind of money changing hands, they're pretty confident they're making the right move.
Yeah. Yeah. But also, I didn't get a slide for it, but I did read today that The Rock has finally secured the rights to The Rock.
Is that his name?
Yeah. Apparently, he has joined the board of directors for TKO, the UFC company that merged with WWE. And part of that deal is that he gets rights to The Rock.
Good
so now,
for him. That's fantastic.
Yeah. So now he's not just Dwayne Johnson in movies. He's Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Officially.
That's
be a pretty big move. That's awesome for him.
Yeah.
I've always liked him.
That does bring us to our last item of the night. So, toy hunting at Dollarama. But there, shopping for you guys.
This has been
good. This week, the Masters of the Universe trend continued. Not only did we see single-carded Origins figures come out at $4.25 a piece, but another wave of the deluxe figures hit at $5. And you know, the single-carded stuff retails anywhere between 20 and 23 upwards there. And the deluxe Origins retail for around 30. So if you're finding them, you know, great. Add them to your collection. It's a great way to get your kids into them, and
good figures.
You can't go wrong with them.
No, it's just getting dollar store figures at the dollar store, and it's getting higher quality figures at the dollar store. Like the McFarlane ones are fantastic. The Revelation's so good.
Yeah. It's almost like going back to the 80s where prices were where they should be.
With the money we have now.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything's finally coming together.
Dollarama helping the economy. Keeping toy collectors' hope alive.
Well, they got the dragons now. They've had the Princess Bride figures from McFarlane as well.
Yep. There is some DC Universe popping up as well. I know the Reverse Flash has hit a few spots.
That's right. I've seen that. I don't even have that figure yet, so that's pretty dope. They've had Spin Master 2-pack.
Yep.
Batman and was it Robin in that 2-pack?
Riddler, I believe, in that 2-pack.
Riddler, yes.
But they've also got the Superman, the Batman, the Joker, a bunch of different variants on Batman in the single pack releases.
Those ones in the $1 though, I think, are the factory rejects.
It's possible.
They just don't seem as well put together or painted as the ones you find at Walmart.
But I got to say, these Origins figures, I don't believe they're not or rejects, because I've got a few of them, opened a few of them, played with a few of them with my son, and they can't go wrong at the price.
No, these are legit. These are right straight from the the Walmart shelf. These are fantastic quality figures.
Yep. So that brings us to the end here, I guess. We got through.
We did. We went through everything. You did awesome.
Well, hopefully I did well enough to listen to. So.
Hey, I'm still here. If I got bored, I would have walked away.
Well, thank you, sir. Again, thank you for coming on the show with me here tonight.
No problem.
Always
I'm no rush, but I'm always happy to be part of the show. So thank you for including me today.
So we will be back again next week with a whole bunch more random stuff. Wes should be back, I think, but if he's not, we'll figure out something. Yeah, from all of us here at Fandom Power, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. And don't forget, fan on.
Fan on.
I'll find the button, I swear. Bye for now, guys.
Bye-bye.